All right, Republican presidential candidate and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis making an unannounced trip to the southern border yesterday to meet with sheriffs in Arizona. Here's what he had to say about the border crisis now. Watch.
This country is falling on its face with respect to ensuring the sovereignty of our country. And you see the damage that's been done at the southern border. We've been hearing about this problem for many, many years, many decades, and yet it's probably as bad as it's ever been right now. I think that this has been a massive dereliction of duty by the president.
Yes, we're reporting on it all day, every day. Democrat presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. also went to the border. He visited Yuma. He tweeted about it yesterday. He posted this video on Twitter, and he said that the border crisis is, quote, unsustainable and not a good thing for our country. Joining me right now is National Border Patrol Council President Brandon Judd. Brandon, it's great to have you. Thanks very much for being here this morning. Interesting to see RFK Jr. As well as Ron DeSantis visit the border. What did they see? And tell us how things stand today.
Oh, they both came to my home state, and what it clearly shows is it shows that the American public is extremely concerned about this issue. It shows that Biden has clearly failed on this issue, and it also highlights the interest that is happening with all of the fentanyl overdose. If we don't get the border under control, we cannot secure the American people. We cannot keep the American people safe. But it also highlights that President Trump actually solved this issue. These people wouldn't be here if the will wasn't already created. If we didn't know that there were solutions. They're coming here, and that highlights that this issue was already solved. In my career, President George W. Bush didn't fix the issue, Clinton didn't fix the issue, Obama didn't fix the issue, but Trump did fix the issue, and these individuals know that all they have to do is operate off of that success to make the border secure so that we can keep the American people safe. We know what policies and programs and operations that we need, but this administration isn't giving it to us, and because of that, this is a very big issue for the American people.
Well, it sure is. And unfortunately, as soon as Joe Biden walked into the Oval Office, this was one of the first things he did. It was just reverse all of the Trump policies, including the Trump policies at the border. So you're saying if you were to go back to those policies, we could tighten things up, right? And also, tell me what happened after Title 42 went away, because there's this narrative in the media that nothing really happened.
So I know it's not just that I think. I know that we can secure the border tomorrow. I know that if we went back to President Trump's policies, which Biden stole from us, we could secure the border tomorrow. When you look at Title 42, this is just a shell game. Right now, what you're seeing is we're still seeing 3 times too many people crossing our borders illegally. We're still seeing 4 times too many gotaways every single day that are crossing our borders illegally. Then you're seeing this CBP One app that is allowing people to come through our ports of entry, go into the United States that are never going to show up to their court appearance, and they're going to become illegal down the road. That's the issue that we're seeing today. This is just a shell game that the Biden administration is playing. They're just moving people from one area to another area, but we still just don't have control of the border. When you look at this administration and they're talking about how good they're doing, they're saying that it's coming down 70%. Yeah, it came down 70% from their already high, but it's still 3 times higher than what it was under President Trump, and that is not workable for the American people.
Of course not. We're talking about people being apprehended who's on the terrorist list. We're talking about fentanyl coming in wide open, killing American citizens. We're talking about millions of gotaways. We don't even know their intentions. Meanwhile, the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, is slamming Ron DeSantis and the migrant flights to California and the state's migrant relocations program. Watch this.
They're dangerous and they're unacceptable. I just don't understand. What are these governors doing? Why are they causing chaos? Why are they causing confusion? What does that actually do for their constituency or for the people who are being put on these planes or on the buses? And it just doesn't make sense. They're playing games and political stunts just are not going to actually deal with the issue at hand.
Well, Brandon, no word from KGP on the fact that Joe Biden sent migrants to Westchester. They were caught red-handed when the New York Post was on the ground when they landed with cameras.
Yeah, this is one thing that really upsets me. When you hear the White House constantly deflecting, when you hear the White House lying to the American people, we have a right to know. The American people has a right to know what's going on the border. They have a right to know the dangerous products that are coming across our border. And when you look at how they have dispersed so many people throughout the United States, they are the ones that are giving the money to the NGOs. It is our tax money that are going to the non-governmental organizations that are allowing these people to fly throughout the entire United States. I just flew back to New York and I was sitting next to an individual that crossed our border illegally on a plane flight. I see this firsthand. Our agents see this firsthand. We all see what's going on, and this administration constantly deflects. They constantly lie to the American people, and that is why this issue is so important, and that's why we've got to get it under control, because if we don't, more Americans are going to die.
Unbelievable. Tiana Lodesher is with me this morning. Go ahead, Tiana.
Good morning. So I know that you're saying that if we go back to those Trump diplomatic deals, remain in Mexico, safe third country agreements, you're saying that would ameliorate the problem. But my question is this: you have the Border Patrol chief and the leader of ICE both announcing their resignations, and we know that Border Patrol has been offering these $20,000 bonuses. Clearly, there's some sort of morale crisis, even if you do just immediately reverse these Biden-era policies. Does that solve the staffing issue, or does the Biden administration need to increase spending on staffing?
It doesn't necessarily solve the staffing issue, but it does increase the excitement that we have to go out and do our job. Right now, in my 25-year career, I have never seen morale lower than what it is right now. We know that we can't do the job. We know that the handcuffs are actually on law enforcement, and the criminal cartels are free to operate with impunity. And that's always going to drop morale. Every single time we put on a uniform and go out and patrol the border, we want to keep the American people safe, and we can't do that right now under these policies. So yes, if policies were in place, morale goes back up. We don't need more personnel. We don't need more agents. We don't need more technology and infrastructure. We just need policy. We don't need the taxpayer to fund this issue. We have to have policies and programs which doesn't cost the taxpayer a dime.
Yeah, unfortunately, it all goes back to policy, Brandon. You're spot on. Everything, all of this failed agenda goes back to policy. All of these failures that are hitting American families go back to policy. Brandon, it's great to have you. Thanks for your leadership down there. We'll keep watching.